6 months after her husband vanished, Rose Chase stood before cameras and said,
"Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you."
The words were clear, measured, almost rehearsed. Behind the scenes, her explanation never changed. Rose told investigators that after an argument, Adam stormed out of the house on foot, and that he said she would not find him until he wanted her to. According to her, he left without his phone, without his belongings, and without contacting anyone afterward. But detectives didn't confront her story head-on. They let it breathe. When Adam's phone suddenly began sending messages, staying with a friend in Canandaigua, need time to think, investigators took note. The messages were delivered. The calls were not answered. And when pressed, the narrative began to strain under its own weight. This is where psychology takes over. Investigators rely on cognitive consistency, the idea that truth remains stable, while deception must constantly adjust. Rose believed her explanation would hold. She didn't expect the digital trail to demand answers her story couldn't supply. Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. On the evening news, the camera lingers on Rose Chase as she pleads into a microphone.
"Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you."
But even in that carefully chosen sentence, something feels misaligned. Her eyes drift, her posture looks rehearsed, like she's checking an invisible script. The words sound correct, yet the emotion doesn't land. And that strange disconnect becomes the first quiet warning that the story the public is being told may not be the one that actually happened. Upstate New York, Ontario County, June 2012. The region is in early summer transition. Long daylight, mild to warm afternoons, and nights that cool just enough to keep windows cracked. It's the kind of season where routines feel ordinary. Work, family, errands. Until one day, normal life simply stops. Friday, June 15th, 2012. Adam Chase's mother, Sylvia Chase, can't ignore the silence anymore. Adam is 31 years old, and he hasn't contacted family for close to 2 days, a gap that feels wrong. Sylvia reaches out to her daughter-in-law, Rose, and what she hears doesn't sit right. Rose says Adam stormed out after a fight and hasn't returned. No calls, no check-in, just gone. To Sylvia, the explanation doesn't match Adam's pattern. And when instinct starts screaming, she does what families do when they fear the worst. She calls the authorities. Ontario County investigators begin the missing person process and contact Rose. She stays calm, almost too calm, explaining that Adam left on foot after an argument, without taking essentials. She adds a detail that lands like a lead weight. Adam supposedly said she wouldn't find him until he wanted her to. Yet he left behind his phone, his belongings, and there's been no activity on their joint bank account. To police, the picture is unstable. A reclusive man vanishes with nothing, doesn't surface, and doesn't reach anyone. That's not a cooling-off walk. That's a red flag. As investigators dig, the background comes into focus. Adam and Rose were high school sweethearts, married young, together nearly a decade, with a child. Adam's workplace describes him as steady and reliable. There's no history of him disappearing. The marriage is strained, and the strain has a name, Mark. A week before Adam vanished, Adam's sister received a photo, Rose kissing Mark in a park. When Sylvia confronted Rose, Rose brushed it off, claiming Mark was just a friend and that she believed he was gay. Sylvia didn't buy it. She forwarded the photo to Adam on June 12th, and the conflict escalated. Still, by June 14th, Rose says the couple tried to reset. They both took the day off work to work things out. Instead, the day ends with a fight and Adam allegedly walking away. Then comes the twist that pushes the case into a stranger direction. On June 18th, 2012, 4 days after Adam disappeared, Rose contacts investigators and Sylvia with a dramatic update. She returned home to find a typed note on the refrigerator reading "Need to talk." Along with the note, she says Adam's phone, charger, computer, clothes, and a suitcase are suddenly missing. Yet his car remains at the house. Timing is too convenient, too cinematic, as if the disappearance just gained a storyline. Deputies arrive at the Chase home that night. Rose cooperates fully and leads them through the residence. The house is messy and neglected, but it's the basement that hits them hardest. A dim, musty space carrying a strong, foul odor. Rose explains it away. Rodents eat poison, die, and rot down there. Investigators do find dead rodents and bats, which supports her explanation just enough to move forward. But the smell lingers in their memory like a question mark they can't erase. Police release missing posters. Community joins search efforts. Chase family pleads publicly.
If you can hear this, you have a place to come home to. Call me, email me, whichever. Just come home.
Rose does too, again with words that sound right. But
Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you. And if anybody knows where Adam is, please contact the Ontario County Sheriffs so this way the family can know how he is and that he's okay.
an energy that feels off, like she's performing the shape of concern rather than living inside it. Leads come in. Sightings. Tips. Everyone collapses into nothing. Then, unexpectedly, Adam reappears, not in person but through text messages. His family receive a message claiming he's staying with a friend in Canandaigua. Need time to think. A similar message goes to Rose. Another text appears later from a different location within Canandaigua. Police track the phone's coordinates and chase each ping, but find no Adam, no footprints, no witness, no confirmation. Calls go unanswered. Soon the phone appears turned off. The messages feel like a cruel mirage, contact without presence. As official momentum fades, the family hires Rodney Miller, a former Ontario County deputy and longtime friend, to push where the investigation has stalled. Miller starts where suspicion always returns, the house. Rose again allows access. Again, nothing obvious appears. But Miller keeps listening to what others overlook. Inconsistencies, timing, behavior, and a feeling that the truth isn't in the places being searched. Finally, December 13th, 2012, exactly 6 months after Adam vanished, the case detonates wide open. Not from a lab result or a routine tip, but from a phone call that sounds like a man trying to outrun his own adrenaline.
917, what's the location emergency?
Rodney Miller, get me Sheriff Powell right away.
I'm sorry, sir, what do you need?
I need Sheriff Powell immediately.
Yes, sir, I can't access him off this telephone line. What can I help you with?
I have Adam Chase. I found the body of Adam Chase. I want Sheriff Powell to call me immediately on this number.
Okay, sir, you said you found the body?
I know where he is. Please have Sheriff Powell get a hold of me right away.
Okay, sir, your name is Rodney Miller? We will,
You can get a hold of Investigator Martin also.
Okay, sir, and have you actually located the body?
No, sir. No, but I know where it is, I think.
Okay, sir. And where is that?
Just get somebody here at the residence, please.
Sir, what is the address I'm on? Do you know that?
What's the address here, Rose?
2215 Mott Road. 2215 Mott Road.
2215 Mott.
On a recorded emergency line, Rodney Miller says he knows where Adam is, where the body is, and insists the sheriff call him immediately. Then dispatch asks the address. Miller turns to Rose for it, and a location that comes out isn't the Chase home. It's 2215 M Road, the residence of Rose Chase's mother. In that moment, the missing person story pivots into something darker. Not a man who walked away, but a disappearance with a destination. And as investigators bring Rose in once more, the question is no longer whether Adam will come home. It's whether Rose ever expected the truth to be found at all. At this stage, investigators already know the truth, but Rose doesn't. This opening isn't about accusations. It's about control. By calmly asking how Adam was moved, detectives force her to mentally relive the crime. That's not curiosity, it's psychological pressure. Once a suspect starts explaining logistics, innocence quietly slips off the table.
Hey, Rose. Stand. Things are a little different than they were the last couple of times we talked. I know you've talked to John here quite a bit. You've been down to your mom's house and you kind of showed him what was going on down there. How about, when you were taking him out of the house, did you cut him up or anything? Did you need any tools or anything? Or
No.
Because if you did, where would those be?
He just fell apart.
Okay.
Here's the contradiction investigators are circling. Rose says Adam fell apart. Yet every detail she gives suggests planning, effort, and time. Moving a body isn't accidental behavior. It's deliberate. The question now isn't if she's involved, but whether she's hiding help, motive, or intent.
All right. How long had he been there?
He'd been there about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. So when we were in there the night that we came over, me and Investigator Durgan,
Yes.
where in the basement was he?
The part that I told you the light wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had skids along the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he was underneath all that stuff that was in that corner.
Okay.
When Rose describes the body hidden in the basement, the tone changes. This isn't grief, it's inventory. Investigators listen closely here because memory tied to trauma is usually fragmented. But Rose recalls layout, timing, and placement with unsettling clarity. That level of recall often signals rehearsal, not shock.
Alone.
How'd you get him there?
I
By yourself?
dragged him. Mm-hmm.
And he's a pretty big guy. And, you know, when somebody can't move, it's hard to move.
It was very difficult.
Okay.
I will admit it was difficult.
Okay. What, Mark doesn't know anything about this?
He found out tonight
Okay.
when
Was he involved in any portion of getting Adam out of the house?
I did not want him to know what happened.
This is where detectives quietly test plausibility. Adam was a large man. Rose was alone. By focusing on physical difficulty, they're gauging truth through strain. Genuine accidents tend to include chaos and panic. What Rose describes instead is endurance. Hours, days, weeks of concealment.
What precipitated all this? I mean, obviously, you know, his boss talked to him early that morning, 9:30, right? The day that he called into work, is that when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what happened?
Him and I called into work so this way we could work things out.
Okay.
He went back to sleep after he called up his boss.
Okay.
I tried waking him up. It took me a while, but he finally got up. He went upstairs to grab a smoke. Then he started to go on the computer, and I thought we were going to talk about this. Started arguing again about the fact that Mark kissed me.
The moment Mark is mentioned, investigators lock in. Rose is quick to protect him, almost reflexively. That urgency tells police two things. First, she understands criminal liability. Second, she's been managing narratives carefully. Innocent people don't usually curate who knows what. They react.
And I go, yes, it was only a kiss. And he goes, well, you told me last night that we're going to get a DNA test done on Tristan. I told him then, no need, Tristan's not yours. He got furious, punched the wall.
Okay, and that was the hole that we saw, right?
I went to grab him. He did push me away. I went to grab him again, and I don't know if he tried to push me away again or if I tried to grabbed him wrong, but his foot caught the stairs and he tumbled down the stairs.
Okay.
Now motive enters the room. Infidelity, DNA doubts, rage. This argument wasn't abstract. It was personal and explosive. When emotions peak near staircases, kitchens, or weapons, investigators know those are danger zones. The setting matters almost as much as the argument itself.
Fold to the side. And he rolled down the stairs. He rolled down the stairs and just laid there. I don't remember him falling forward. I don't remember him falling back. I just remember him falling to the side. Adam? You? Okay? Hesitated, shook him a little bit. Waited a few more minutes. Still wasn't moving. I shook him again. Still wasn't moving. Looked to see if he had a pulse. I didn't really
Where'd you check?
Checked his wrist.
Okay. Did you check his neck at all? To see if he had one there?
No.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Then I just waited a few more minutes, and then he started to wet himself.
Okay.
I panicked. I didn't know if any of the neighbors heard anything.
He started wetting himself after, it was about 5 minutes.
It's about 5 minutes afterwards.
He started wetting himself. Did you think that was any indication of he could have still been alive, or?
I don't know.
Did you maybe, when you started doing that, you kind of thought, did you shake him again, Brian, or Adam, or you just assumed it was still dead?
After he let himself, I just assumed he was.
Rose frames the fall as accidental, but notice what's missing. Number 911 call. No scream for help. No neighbor alerted. Silence after a supposed accident is one of the strongest red flags in homicide investigations. Fear of consequences often overrides instinct to save.
We started arguing in this room, and when he gets up after I told him about Tristan, he punches the wall, starts to walk away. I grabbed him by the arm. He pushed me away.
Which arm?
It'd have to be this arm. His left.
Okay, so is he facing you at this point?
No, he was walking away. I grabbed him by his left arm. He takes his right arm, kind of gives me a little bit of a push. Not really hard. Just a little push.
So your natural reaction was just to shove him back?
No, I didn't shove him back. He started walking away again, and I went to grab him again, and this time, I want to say, I grabbed his left arm again. He went he went to push me away again, and that's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs.
This is the top step, or was he down a couple stairs? So he was halfway down?
He was at the top. He was on the, let's see, you got right here. There's a little platform before you go on the stairs. He's right here.
So he already made it down one portion of the stairs is on the platform.
Because I remember it was a sunny day and the light was coming in from the window right there. So I grabbed him. He went to push me away again. That's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs and he just tumbled.
How many stairs are on that second point from that platform to the ground? Approximately.
12.
Okay, so it's a longer flight.
Mm-hmm. I want to say 12. I'm not exactly sure.
How many times did he tumble? Or did he tumble at all? Did he slide down?
No, he tumbled. I know he tumbled, but I don't know how many times.
The confession doesn't come from police pressure. It comes from fear of exposure. When Rose believes arrest is imminent, the psychological wall collapses. This is called anticipatory confession, when a suspect talks not because they're cornered, but because they think the corner is coming.
His head on the door. Door was open.
Which door? At the bottom of the stairs or the top?
At the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
The door was open, but it wasn't open all the way.
Mm-hmm. So other than going to check on him, did you ever I mean, obviously we didn't get any 911 calls. You checked for a pulse, you didn't feel one. You took him down to the basement. He was there for how long? You figure? I mean, it's the day that the day that he
the
calls,
day that this happened
is the day that he calls into work, just to work. June 14th?
June 14th.
Okay.
When I got him into the basement, I was exhausted from moving him, so I left him at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
The following day, I got Tristan on the bus.
Okay.
And went to the bank. Sylvia called me and said that she talked to the sheriff that he wanted to talk to me. So I went back to the house in a panic. Saw Adam just laying there, and I didn't want the sheriff to see him there because I knew he would arrest me right on the spot. So that little corner cut out of the wall, I thought about putting him in there. I went in there, checked it out, was going to put him in an area in the dirt. But when I went to move him, I couldn't really lift him that far. So I was still panicking.
By now, the accident narrative is unraveling. What investigators keep returning to is simple. Accidents create panic and calls for help. Cover-ups create silence, staging, and lies. In part 2, detectives will stop asking what happened and start proving why the accident story can't survive.
So I actually dragged him by his feet into the lower part of the basement. Got him so this way he was cross-legged like this, and I struggled to get him into this position. And that's when I put the tarp. That's when I put everything on top of it.
Anything more than a tarp? I mean, plastic?
No, it was my son's kiddie pool that he was originally over top of him. I had all the skids of stuff surrounding him. Then I put long pieces of board over top of that, and I made it look like a table.
Just to clarify a couple of things. His cell phone. You send those text messages?
I did.
Okay. The laptop computer, where'd that go?
I got it out of my house.
Okay. The note that was hung up on the fridge?
That was me.
Okay.
This is a critical behavioral tell. Rose waits. She watches. She checks but never acts. When she describes him wetting himself, she assumes death instead of uncertainty. Investigators know that assumption matters. It reveals a mental shift from spouse to problem solver.
If this was him falling down the stairs, why do we go through all this? I mean, what do we go through all this for? Help me figure this out, because
at first, I thought everyone was going to think it was a murder. That I offed him on purpose. And then after I hit the body, and the dogs came in, I thought I got pretty lucky. I was going to turn myself in several times. But the thing that kept shying me away from turning myself in was how his family acted.
What do you mean by that?
As in, what they were doing was, pissing me off. How about they were, saying that I did all this stuff without physical evidence, and it really pissed me off, and I just wanted.
So this drags on mostly because of their treatment of you after this happens?
Correct.
Why would you think that we would think he murdered him? I mean, we were talking about it in the car. I mean, you tried to grab him. He fell down the stairs. I mean, you saw him at the bottom of the stairs. Remember, people would call 911, try to get him some help. And there's nobody else there that saw this argument, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so do you think that maybe you pushed him? It's a natural reflex. I wouldn't blame you if you did.
This is strategic empathy. Detectives validate her anger, not her actions. They frame her emotions as understandable, almost universal, while isolating the one moment she refuses to fully explain. That contrast makes the missing truth feel louder than any accusation.
Somebody's shoving me, my natural reflex is to shove him back. You didn't do it on purpose.
I don't remember pushing. I remember grabbing his arm, but I don't remember pushing him in that.
But I mean, did you grab him to pull him towards you? I mean, why did you grab his arm?
I just grabbed him to get his attention.
Or, just throwing this out there, if he makes it, does he tell us something different about what happened up there?
I don't think he would have told you anything different. The only thing.
Well, here's what we're trying to figure out, Rose. This is the part that's confusing to all of us. If this is truly an accident, if you two are squabbling at the top of the stairs, he slips, falls, breaks his neck, whatever happened to him.
I think
well, hang on. The first natural reaction from anybody, I don't care if it's your mortal enemy, is going to be to try to get this guy some help. The thing that I keep hearing is that you're going to turn yourself in, that, you know, if the first deputy that shows up saw him, you were going to get arrested. If this was an accident, and none of that happens that way, that just tells me that if Adam doesn't perish from his injuries, that maybe he tells us a different story about what happened on that stairwell.
what I was afraid of, if Adam didn't perish on that stairwell, was that the truth about Tristan's DNA was going to come out. It came out anyway, but the first thing that was going through my head was, okay, Adam died.
This is where the accident story begins to crack. Investigators introduce a devastating possibility. If Adam had survived, he could have told a very different story. Rose's response isn't grief, it's fear. Fear of exposure. Fear that the truth about Tristan's paternity would surface. That fear reveals motive, not regret.
Stand up for a second.
Sure. So I'm closer.
Okay. Top of the stairs.
Okay.
Okay. I grabbed your arm.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And he went to push me away again.
Okay.
And this time, I blocked him.
Okay.
Foot's right there at the stairs.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
you hit him?
I didn't hit him hard.
Okay.
But my hand brushed against his face.
Okay.
Down.
Did you fall down the stairs too?
No.
Okay.
Because I grabbed the guardrail.
Okay. All right.
And I just watched him fall. I don't know how many times he...
So there was enough momentum as you were swatting at him, there was enough momentum where you almost went down the stairs too. Is that? But you grabbed the guardrail. He obviously didn't have a chance to. I mean, and again, this wasn't the first go-round for you two having a problem like this. The difference is this time, now you have Tristan. Now he's also using Tristan as an investigative tool to figure out what's going on. You know, the key logger wasn't bad enough. Having an identical phone to yours wasn't enough. Now he's involving your son, because it's not Adam's son. You know that. He's involving your son in this mess, and this is it. You've had enough. Anybody can see how that happens. You know, I mean, we've pretty much to the point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But in the same note,
at the beginning of that day, it was trying to cover my ass.
Well, because you got away with it before, right? I mean, you were able to deny your way out of this kind of stuff before.
Correct.
So
the reenactment at the stairwell is no accident. By physically placing Rose back into the moment, detectives force her body to remember what her words are trying to avoid. Muscle memory doesn't lie the way language does, and subtle shifts here tell investigators more than any confession.
This time I was trying to cover my ass, but then I came out.
Mm-hmm. And when that came out, Tristan's true father, I mean, you didn't tell him who the father was, right? You just told him it wasn't him.
Correct.
And obviously that sets him off to a new level than he's been at before, because he's had suspicions about infidelity before, which, you know, whatever came of them, came of them. Now he's sure. And then on top of that, we've got him now knowing that Tristan's not his. And he's mad, you're mad, and things just escalate. You know? I mean, it's...
But my whole intent for when he was right there, I didn't want him to fall down the stairs. I just wanted to get his attention. I wanted to talk to him. That was the whole thing, was that we were mainly going to talk. That he just went back to the computer. That really pissed me off.
Well, he spent most of his life at the computer. He ignored your son because he was at the computer.
Yeah, I know that.
You know? I mean, let's call a spade. We got to be honest here. And that made you mad too. Because I don't know any mother in the world that would prefer their husband, and even if he doesn't know at that point that Tristan, the fact that he didn't know that Tristan wasn't his kind of makes it worse. Because that's your own son, and you're playing video games.
Notice how the narrative evolves. First it's an accident, then it's momentum, now it's blocking. Each revision moves Rose closer to intent. Investigators allow these changes because every adjustment is a psychological concession, proof that the original story couldn't stand.
Or you're on the computer, you're doing whatever. You know? Yeah. I mean, I can understand your frustration.
People are going to understand the anger here. They're going to understand it. They're going to understand if you pushed them.
Yeah, another thing that was going through my head at the same time was, hey, if he's dead, you don't have to worry about waking him up anymore. It's spending 2 hours trying to wake him up.
Well, you guys had a tough relationship.
So again, that's something people are going to understand. What they're not going to understand is you being clear about everything else except for that one point in time. They're not going to understand that.
And it was your car that you were taking him down to your mom's house in?
Correct.
His car used at all for any of it? Okay.
No, I just moved it.
What were you using? Blankets, rugs? What were you rolling him up in? I mean, what was the biggest piece that you had to get out of there by yourself? I mean, his torso? I mean,
the torso part.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Tell me about it.
Well, all right. Head, arms, legs, came off no problem.
All right. Now, came off, you mean it just kind of fell off?
Fell off. I mean, the legs fell off right about the knees. Okay. This is the real creepy part. The torso itself. I went to lift it up once. I put it on a trash bag. Wrapped it up, took a blanket, lifted it up to where the sub pump was. I went upstairs, opened up the car door, back catch. And as I'm lifting up the torso part...
Now the interrogation turns dark. Disposal details surface, not hypotheticals, not vague language, but anatomy. When suspects describe bodies and parts, it signals emotional detachment. At this point, investigators are no longer determining if this was murder, but how long it had been.
It hits my keys and the car alarm is going off.
No, you're doing this all at night?
Actually, I did it over. Yeah, I wrapped him up, lifted him up, put him in the car, and I remember my car alarm goes off, and of course I got his legs and his arms in there first, then the torso goes off. One of my neighbors came out, I shut the door, And, you know, they were like, hey, was that your car alarm? I go, yeah. I hit the button by mistake. I thought when I was carrying him down the ramp that he was gonna slip out of me. But he didn't. I made it to the car.
This is one of the most chilling sections of the case. Nighttime transport, a car alarm, a neighbor. Every interruption increases risk, yet Rose continues. That persistence tells investigators this wasn't panic. It was resolve. Panic freezes people. Determination moves them.
What made you think to burn him? And where'd you?
Because he always wanted to be cremated. That's the one thing he wanted, was to be cremated. He didn't want a sappy funeral. He didn't want anybody to play those sad songs. He just wanted to be cremated and pretty much to have it a blast. So before anybody could see it, I took the shovel and I scooped them into the trash can. My mom came over and said, "What are you doing? The fire's already out." I said, "I just want to make sure that everything's out, just to make sure that, you know, just to take care of stuff." Because there was also some nails from the wood. I go, "See, there's nails. I don't want you to hit it with your lawnmower and send it flying somewhere."
Rose reframes the burning as mercy, fulfilling Adam's wishes. But investigators hear something else: moral licensing. When someone justifies a crime as kindness, it often masks guilt too heavy to carry honestly. Compassion becomes camouflage.
They had a tough relationship.
So again, that's something people are going to understand. What they're not going to understand is you being clear about everything else except for that one point in time. They're not going to understand that. And then they're going to think you're trying to cover something up.
And let's be honest, we got a 5.5, almost 6 month history, 6 months tomorrow, of not really being truthful here. This is the time to lay it on the table, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing.
Anybody hearing your story is going to say, "Hell yeah, I would have pushed him too." You know?
And subconsciously, I did want to push him.
Okay. So did you?
I'm going to have to say yes.
Okay.
I went to grab his arm. He went to take me away again. And with that hit on the head, it was more disorient once I seen that he lost his footing, so this way he didn't grab the railing downstairs.
Where'd you push him? Once you saw that was he trying to grab for the railing?
I still had a hold of his arm at the time.
Okay.
And it was just a final.
But you knew he was falling, so
Yeah.
you gave it a final shove because you wanted him to fall down those stairs.
Yeah.
Because you were pissed.
Grabbed a bag out from the kitchen. Wiggled the bag underneath him. Still wasn't doing anything. Got him on that bag. I mean, it was one of those heavy-duty tarps, almost like what you use for lining of a waterbed.
This is the turning point. Detectives stop confronting and start aligning. They present themselves as understanding allies, because once resistance fades, truth flows. After months of denial, Rose finally admits what her body language revealed all along. She pushed him.
Okay. Big, thick, heavy.
Yeah. That made it a little bit easier to drag him into. After I got him to the stairwell in the right in front of the basement, still wasn't moving anything. He didn't do anything. I actually cleared all those doors and stuff out of the stairwell, giving myself some more room. Grabbed him. He's still not moving. Got him right there. He's right there on the platform, and I gave him another shove into the basement. I couldn't carry him. I just let gravity.
Just let him slide down the stairs.
Let gravity do its work.
Did he tumble there?
He tumbled there. He hit his head. He hit his head there and started bleeding. At the bottom of the stairwell, there was some blood.
Okay.
And I only remember the blood there because when I went to put him in the corner, when I went to lift him up, where his head hit me, there was some blood on my clothes, so I had to wash it. So I washed my clothes. I also bleached the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, that bottle of bleach that was in the basement, is that the one?
The final confession isn't loud. It's mechanical. Each shove is recounted step by step, gravity doing the rest. This isn't an accident remembered. It's an action reconstructed. And in the end, the law agrees. Rose Chase is convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 23.5 years to life. After a 2-week trial in October 2013, a jury in Ontario County, New York found Rose Chase guilty of second-degree murder, as well as related charges, including tampering with physical evidence in the brutal case of her husband, Adam Chase. In January 2014, the court sentenced her to an indeterminate term of 23 years to life in prison on the murder conviction, reflecting the severity and intentional nature of the crime. Additional concurrent sentences were imposed on the evidence tampering count, though a later appellate decision reversed her conviction for endangering the welfare of a child in 2018. As of the most recent reporting, Chase is serving her sentence at a New York State correctional facility and remains eligible for parole after completing the minimum term of her life sentence.